fans, we're back. We have taken game one. There was a lot of game notes on this one, so let's get into it, okay? Stolar starts game one, doesn't finish game one, but he starts it. Looked good. Nothing to complain about, really. Unfortunately, gets hit in the mask there with a really hard shot from Florida, and then he gets kind of the old elbow shimmy to the mask later in the game. That could have contributed to whatever it was. Either it was a concussion or he got whatever Wall was getting ill from there for the past couple of days. So hopefully he's all right. But before that, he looked good. So let's cross our fingers that he's not out for too long here. Leafs come out with some real purpose tonight, which was nice. Previous series, we've really seen them come out kind of, just limping along. They're not pushing the play. They're waiting for things to happen. Whereas tonight they came out with some real energy and purpose. They came out with a mission to actually win this game, and it looked like it, which was nice. And we've all said, well, not all of us, but it's been said that this team is different this year, and that is a major factor that at least I see towards the Leafs being different this year, is that they do come out in big games and they do play well. They don't always win them, but at least they come out and look like they're at least trying, right? So that's a big bonus. And part of that tonight too was Nylander coming down on the wing there and scoring 33 seconds in. That's a huge boost for everybody in the building, for the team. Obviously, we all knew it was kind of going to be a hard start to this game, and having the Leafs up 1-0, like basically 30 seconds in, was pretty fantastic. So that was incredible. Following that play, of course, Domi takes a really, really weak penalty on Marchand. After seeing the replay of it, didn't really see anything crazy there. Domi comes in, talks to Marchand for a second. They kind of engage, but nothing really transpires out of that. So I'm not really sure what the penalty was for. Possible, unsportsmanship or something, but that was just kind of an errant call out of nowhere. So at least they kill it off. Power play looked good. That's at least one thing we can kind of hang our hat on for now, which is nice. But if we're going to give Florida a lot more opportunities like that in the rest of this series, it's definitely going to cost us. So that's one thing the Leafs really got to clean up about their game, is this the errant penalties right now. There's no need for it at all. After that, I'm not sure if it's just the momentum of it or what was going on. The Leafs were feeling good. Nylander gets his second goal. Just kind of a little broken play, gets it out in front, little shimmy shake, puts it up top. Beautiful goal. Nylander's feeling it. He always seems to come through in these big games too, which is really nice. So that was really relieving to see, especially being up 2-0 like that. Everybody's kind of riding high on the wave there, which was good. After that, the Leafs get a power play, and then it gets sort of nullified by a too many men on the ice penalty, which, again, as we just talked about, that's a killer. That's just a killer to your morale, to the whole energy. You got to know who you're taking on a shift change like that, and it cost them, which was unfortunate. Panthers score on that. Seth Jones, seeing eye shot, just kind of slips it in right over the shoulder there. Not much he can do. You gotta defend better. You gotta get in the shooting lanes. That's something that they'll learn as the series goes on. But it is what it is. Luckily, right after that, our hero of the night, or one of many heroes of the night, Morgan Rielly, comes down 19 seconds later and buries one on a beautiful 2-on-1 where he finally shoots and looks off the pass and actually puts it in. So that was incredible. That was really relieving too. The Leafs D has really been producing a lot in these playoffs, which is pretty unusual compared to other ones. So it's nice to see, especially for Morgan Rielly, getting that monkey off the back, getting in on a rush like that and actually shooting it. I'm not sure if just Bobrovsky just misplayed that or what it was, but it seemed like he was kind of just mis-centered or out of center of the net there. But either way, we'll take it. Beautiful goal by Mo, which was good. At that point, it's 3-1. Go to the second period. The Leafs get a power play, but it looks like shit. It always seems to be when the Leafs get a power play right at the beginning of a period, they're not organized yet. I don't know what it is. If it's just I have no idea what it is, but they look awful, and that was a great example of that. They don't really get any shots. It's pretty killing on that one. And right after that, Leafs take another penalty. Holmberg doing some ridiculous shenanigans. Good penalty kill on that. Kept him to the outside. Florida didn't really get many chances from that, so that was a good building moment for sure. And then right after that, again, Tanev scores from the blue line. Kind of just again a knuckler shot. I mean, Nyes sort of looks like he tips it, but he doesn't. Puck kind of just flutters in somehow. Again, another D-man. Great goal from him. Yeah, at that point it's 4-1. And then Tavares draws a penalty on Barkov. And I think Tavares, he hasn't really shined in these playoffs, in my opinion. But I would definitely say that he's sort of been the most consistent. He's just sort of played his game. He's drawn a lot of penalties. He's having his shots. He's a nice, steady player that you can sort of rely on, which is nice. There's not too many high highs. There's not too many low lows either. So that's been really nice. So that was good. Not a great power play on that either. Couldn't really seem to get much going on that, which was pretty frustrating. Again, I think the Leafs had like 5 power plays tonight, and they did basically fuck all with them. So that was that's just an area they got to improve. I mean, the Leafs power play can be so good, so dangerous, but it seemed like tonight on a lot of it too, they were just overpassing. You have Marner at the top there, passing over to Willie. Willie passes it back, goes to Matthews. And it just doesn't really seem to go anywhere from there. I think Florida's just a lot better at shot blocking than the Senators were, so that's why it looks a little bit tougher. But that's something they got to work on, because right now it's not seeming to flow the best. I mean, they had a couple good ones tonight, but it's not looking like it should. After that, yeah, Stolarz throws up on the bench again. I'm not sure if that was either concussion related because of the shot to the face, or the elbow to the face, really, or the forearm, whatnot. Maybe he was just partly sick from whatever Woll had like last week. Could be a combination of it. Who knows? Either way, it did not look good. I think we were all clenching pretty hard there, as Leafs Nation knows, especially when you see your good starting goaltender go out of the net looking like that, throwing up on the bench. That's okay. Wall comes in, looks pretty solid, which is good, at least through the rest of the period. Third period, Florida scores right in, right at the beginning of the period there, and that's a heartbreaker. And you go, okay, it's just one lucky deflection, gets his stick out. I think Lindell, kind of a shot pass. And you go, okay, we're still up, no problem. Let's keep going after that one. Florida kind of comes in waves after that too. They're just getting chance after chance. It's that momentum there that just sort of makes the Leafs unravel a bit. And when years pass, by that time, they would have already lost the game. At least, now with Tanev and OEL and even Carlo, they seem to really be able to kind of stave off those waves pretty well, which was nice. Still, I mean, Wall had to make some good saves to keep them in there, but overall, the Leafs did not break completely on that. They do score again, though, which was really tough. Another kind of just weird shot, double deflection, goes in. That was a little bit later on, but still, that was a heartbreaker too. Bennett takes a penalty on Tavares there. At that point, the power play is like 4 for 11, I think, in the last couple. 1 for 11 in the last 4 games. So again, it's just something the boys got to get working with, because it's just not clicking right now. And if we're gonna win this series, we're gonna have an actual shot at beating Florida, we got to get some power play goals on here, because this is getting ridiculous. More towards the end of the third period here, what else do I got? The Leafs finally looked like they woke up around the 11-minute mark of the third period. I don't know. It was just, being up 2 or what it was. Like, the Leafs just sort of came out of the third period kind of, expecting to kind of coast to the win, because they have been good in close games all year long, but they kind of just came out a little bit soft, a little bit tentative. Florida comes in waves. They get a couple goals, and then it's, the scramble. But Berube takes a nice timeout. That was a little bit later on, but he just says, look, we're fine. We're good. Don't panic, which is the nice, calming voice there from Berube, thank God. Because if it's Sheldon Keefe, he just would have been a bunch of yelling. No offense to him. But so that was nice. At least get another power play. Their 5th power play of the night after a really bad hit on Yarncroc. I didn't really see the hit too well, actually, but I know his helmet came off, and overall it wasn't good. Florida killed that off. Looked good. Still not clicking as well as it could have been. Sam Bennett scores with 1:53 left in the game. And just like always, we think it's crumbling down. A lot of opportunities there with the empty net, which was frustrating. A lot of times Marner, and speaking on Marner for a second, I know he just had a kid the other night. So congratulations to him and his wife. Everyone kind of said that, after you have a kid, you're going to have an amazing game. It's going to be the night of your life, blah, blah, blah. It just did not seem like that. It seemed like kind of Marner was trying a little bit too hard tonight. He had some good plays for sure. He had some jump, but it didn't seem to come either, too easy or naturally to him tonight. There was a couple times when he kind of fumbled some pucks, especially when it came to the empty net. I know he didn't want to ice it at the end there. That's kind of why he just dumped it in, to make sure it didn't get an icing, because you don't want to have a face-off in your own zone then at that point. But at that point, you got to take a shot. I mean, you're Mitch Marner. You gotta try for that empty net there, because that's just a tough opportunity there. Oh well, he had a decent game. I'm not going to criticize him too much. Matthews again, great steal. Had the chance to hit the empty net. I think again he just clutches it a little bit too hard, shoots it wide. We're all feeling a little bit tight on that one. It's okay. They got the win though. That was a close one. This team, as we know, they have been good in keeping it, pretty solid during close games. So even after Matthews missed that, I still believe that we could win this game, and they did. They actually kept it really solid. They held it down, and they did get the win in pretty chill fashion, which was nice. So, we can finally breathe. At least we got one. Hopefully we can get 2. If we split the series at home here, wouldn't be the worst, but getting the jump on Florida is really huge for this series. Just as a mental hurdle, I don't think Florida's going to play as sloppy as they did this game. I think it was just a one-off. You're most likely not going to score that many goals on Bobrovsky, ever again, unless he's having a bad series. But the boys got to tighten a lot of things up, and just take it for what it is. You got the win tonight, and put your heads towards game 2, and don't just hope for the best, play for the best, because they're a really good team. They can do this. If I believe, they believe. So I'll see you after game 2. Cheers.